G'day guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video we're going to be doing my official 2023 AFL Finals predictions. We're going to be predicting the entire final series in this video. However, early next week I'll be doing just separate little videos such as finals week 1 predictions. Then when we get to the semis I'll just like update them after every week. So this is my overall finals predictions, who I think is going to win it all. I'm going to be predicting every game that leads on to next week, and so on until we have the premiers in my prediction. I'm going to be going on Squiggle for this video, as we do pretty much every final series. Before we do get into the video, make sure to leave a like on this video. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're trying to hit 7k by the end of the year, and we'd much appreciate it if you guys could drop a sub if you haven't already. So here we are on Squiggle. Now obviously we do pretty much go to this website at the same time every year to be doing our finals predictions. It is so good. If you don't know how it works, obviously we've got all the finals teams here and all the finals games: qualifying final 1, elim final 1, elim final 2, qualifying final 2. It's a big couple of weeks now, because obviously all the teams are preparing to come into the final series and obviously want to show their best side of footy this time of year. So yeah, it's really exciting times. This one, it's a bit of an interesting final series. It's sort of similar to what we've had over the last few years. However, like the Saints are in there, the Giants are in there, Carlton are in there, and you know, Sydney have coming back for a second crack after last year's grand final defeat against the Cats. However, if you don't know how this works, you basically click a team and they'll move on to the semis and so on. So it's a pretty nice little website to be going on for our finals predictions. So we're going to be starting off on the Thursday night, 7:20 p.m. at the MCG. Tickets sold out within, I think, an hour of going live, maybe even less than that. A Pies home final versus, once again, another Vic club in the D. So this atmosphere is going to be through the roof. I did actually try getting tickets for this game. However, the tickets are just so, like, they just go in an instant, and you have to be on that waiting page for so long before you even have a chance to get into, you know, the access to actually buy some tickets. But yeah, it got sold out, unfortunately, and all the seats that were available when I went on there were just like restricted view, standing only, and that I was just not paying all that money just so I could see half the ground and the scoreboard covers the other. So at the MCG, it's a home final, and we can't forget, like, the Pies have had a little bit of slump in form recently, obviously picking up a 70-point win against the Bombers in round 24, really just to shape up their form coming into the final series, which is exactly what they needed after a bit of iffy form a few weeks prior. However, we cannot forget the King's birthday clash, where the D's did actually knock off the Pies at the MCG. So yeah, there's that. Like, the previous results go the way of the D's. However, a Collingwood home final, the crowd's going to be electrifying, and what are the D's coming off? The D's coming off a bit of a sluggish 21-point win against the Swans at their home turf, at the Swans' home turf as well. So it's a bit of a challenge. However, I'm gonna have to back in the Pies, bro. Like, they have a home final. The crowds are gonna be backing me in. Like, I went to a home final last year for the Pies. It was Pies Cats finals week 1, and oh my goodness, this atmosphere was insane. Literally like the loudest I've ever heard a stadium. So I think because of the atmosphere, because of the fans, and just everyone getting around the Pies, it's their home final. They cannot be choking this. I reckon they move on to a home preliminary final, and the D's, well, they've obviously got the second chance, as they did finish in 4th position. So they'll be playing the winner of this elimination final here that we're about to predict now. It is Carlton v Sydney at the MCG Friday night footy, 7:50 p.m. The Blues finally in a final series, first time since 2013 is in for their finals appearance this year. And the Swans, well, obviously they did make it last year, however got absolutely embarrassed in the 2022 AFL Grand Final. And well, their opponents are not even in the finals somehow. The Cats, they finished 12th after winning the premiership last year, which is just really disappointing signs and a huge hangover. However, considering like Carlton haven't made the finals in 10 years, they've been playing some pretty good footy apart from round 24. That just I really thought they were going to beat the Giants at home as well. Like, they want to come, every team obviously wants to come into the finals with some really good form, and being defeated by nearly 10 goals on your own turf against GWS is just not a way to be going to the finals on a positive note. Now, obviously, they've got a couple of weeks to prepare, haven't made finals in 10 years. They obviously want to do their fans proud. I think they had, an eight winning game streak before they did face the Giants, and obviously lost that streak in round 24. However, like, they're at home. They should really get this one done. The Swans, on the other hand, coming off a 21-point loss against the D's at the SCG on their home turf, and hasn't really been a while since, obviously, they experienced a final series. Obviously, last year they did make the granny. They've got a lot of experience in finals games. Traveling to the MCG, it's going to be a packed crowd. Should be sold out as well because obviously Swannies fans will obviously come down because they used to be South Melbourne. So heaps of Swannies fans in Melbourne, and Carlton home final for the first time in 10 years. Going to be absolutely electrifying. So once again, I literally just have to go Carlton in this one because they haven't performed so well in the season just to come this far. And I feel like the Swans, like, they've got to go. I feel like they've got to get knocked off. But honestly, like last final series, we saw some upsets. We saw the D's go out in straight sets, and Sydney obviously being one of those teams to defeat them at their home turf. So Sydney, you never know. You never know. They could obviously get up, but I feel like Carlton, they haven't made finals in 10 years. They've been playing so well all year. Just a disappointing way to end off the season against the Giants. However, pretty consistent all year. Obviously had like that 5-week period where they just lost every game and just were not in good form. All it took was some verbal abuse, and they were back out next week winning games. So going to back in Carlton at their home turf. Same reason as Collingwood. Like Carlton at a home game, home final, that atmosphere is going to be crazy loud, and it's just insane. Next final we're moving on to is the Saints and the Giants. So this is actually Saturday at 3:20 p.m. at the MCG again. 3 MCG finals in the first week of footy. How good is that? The MCG is going to be getting a run for its money, that's for sure. Saints, Giants. The Giants coming off a really good win against the Blues, who I actually just personally didn't expect them to get that done against the Blues. I thought the Blues were going to be way too strong, but GWS, they had something to fight for. That's also another reason. GWS had like something to fight for. If they lost this game, they weren't making the finals. If they won, they were making the finals. If they won by a decent margin, which they did, they would be up in 7th position. So, and Carlton, well, whether they won or lost in round 24, they were locked in 5th position anyway. Saints obviously coming off a 2-goal deficit loss to the Brisbane Lions. However, at the Gabba, that is a really good effort. The Lions are undefeated at the Gabba this season, and for a team to only lose by 12 points is pretty good. Pretty good effort for the Saints, and they'll be coming into this with, once again, like a lot of enthusiasm, because I do not recall like the last time they made finals. Obviously they made finals in 2020. However, obviously that was up in Queensland, so no one could go and witness this game. So shouldn't be a sellout. Should only be like 70k there probably at max, because obviously GWS not many fans. Saints not many fans. Well, they do have fans. They are loud. They do fill out Marvel Stadium. However, at the G, they won't be able to fill it out as much. The atmosphere will be a little bit less than the last 2 games we have discussed. However, once again, bro, like home final, but this is just for some reason something the Giants would win, because they're actually a good team. When they play their best footy, they are literally like the best or one of the best teams in the comp. It's actually really hard to split these teams. Before, like just 2 minutes ago, I would have 100% tipped the Saints, but now I'm thinking about how good the Giants performed against the Blues. Guess they had something to play for, and the Blues were going to sit in 5th position, loss or win. The Saints, well, they haven't played in front of a home crowd for a final since, 2010, 2011. So it's been a while for the Saints as well to play in front of a home crowd in a final. I'm just really thrown me off how the Giants did get up against the Blues last week, and it's just really thrown me off and sort of questioning my prediction whether or not I do tip them, because they put on an absolute clinic on Sunday against the Blues. The Saints, 12 points, within 12 points against Brisbane at the Gabba. That's such a good effort as well. I'm actually going to back in. I'm backing in the Giants. I'm actually backing in the Saints to get eliminated first week of finals. I feel like there's just got to be one upset within this first week of finals, and I feel like this is going to be it. Or it's going to be Sydney against Carlton, but I just feel like Carlton haven't made finals in so long. Their home crowd, got to back them in. However, this Saints-Giants game, I feel like the atmosphere is not going to be so great, so I feel like the Giants can sort of the Giants are pretty experienced in finals as well. They've got a pretty well-experienced finals team. And I feel like the Saints, well, obviously they don't have an experienced final team. Only a few players from 2020, but they've got a few young guns in as well at the moment. So I feel like the Giants obviously have the experience in finals over the Saints. And I just feel like they're going to get it done at the MCG, and it's just going to be a massive upset. And I feel like they'll get it done by probably under 10 points. It'll be a good contest at the G. Keen to see how that one shapes out. Brisbane, Port Adelaide, second qualifying final at the Gabba. Brisbane undefeated at the Gabba this season. They did versus Port there. Earlier in the year, I think they won by 46 or so. So it's sort of a preview coming into this one. But the Power beating Richmond by 31 points at the Adelaide Oval when they conceded the first few goals of the game as well. I don't know with the Power, and I just don't think they're going to win this game. At the Gabba, they might show something somehow, but Brisbane undefeated at the Gabba all season. It's really hard to go past the Brisbane Lions. I feel like I'll be backing them in 100% for this finals game. However, obviously, sometimes they don't show up in finals games. That's what we've learned over the past few seasons. They sometimes don't show up in finals games. Made it all the way to the prelims last year, then got knocked off by the Cats. At home, undefeated on their home ground. They've got to get it done on their home turf in front of a home crowd, I reckon. I'm going to be backing in Brisbane. First semi-final we have predicted is Melbourne and Carlton. Once again, two Melbourne-based sides. This is going to be bringing a sellout as well. Oh, really, really interesting game of footy here, because last time these two teams played, Carlton were in a form slump and the D's ran all over them, and Carlton just, you know, you can't really base their last results because Carlton were just not in a good state at all. So look, this is going to be really interesting. However, I feel like if the D's get knocked off first week of finals, they've got to go further than that. They're a top 4 side, but Carlton, bro. Carlton, I'm actually going on Carlton. I'm going for Carlton. I'm going on the Carlton hype train. I'm going to back in the Blues to get it done against the D's in the first semi-final that I predicted. And the D's are gone. Their season 2023 is over. And the Blues progress with 2 wins in a row. And they'll face, obviously, Brisbane at the Gabba in an away clash, which is going to be elite. Absolutely elite. Port Adelaide, GWS, bit of a dead final at Adelaide Oval. And once again, this is just like a final for some reason that the Giants will win. And I don't know why. Port Adelaide, their home deck, is so exciting. But the Giants play so well at Adelaide Oval as well. I'm backing in the Giants to go to a prelim. I've knocked off Port in these finals predictions, and I'm backing in the Giants. There's going to be a big sound coming to the G for the first preliminary final of 2023. Collingwood, GWS, prelim final. Collingwood had the week off to rest after they defeated the D's in the first qualifying final. We've also got Brisbane v Carlton at the Gabba. The MCG, the Giants can put up such a good effort at the G, obviously coming off this win against the Saints a couple weeks prior at the G. They're going to be obviously training there a lot and warming up there a lot just to get used to the surface. They're not a bad side at the G though, the Giants. They used to not be great, but you know what? Oh, it would be so hard to tip against the Pies though. That's the thing. At their home deck to get into a grand final, I feel like there's just way too much stakes on the line. Sorry, the Giants cannot go all the way. Come on, they can't go all the way. They've had a good roll of the dice. They played well against the Blues, and I feel like they'll knock off the power at Adelaide. However, when it comes to Collingwood at the G, it's a whole different level. Prelim finals footy, it's going to be a tight contest. I reckon the Pies get up by like 4 points. It'll be an absolute heartbreak for the Giants. Or maybe the Giants get up like by under a goal, like either or. I feel like it's going to be a close game of footy. The margin will be under a goal. And second preliminary final to see who will face off in the grand final versus the Pies. It is Brisbane, Carlton. Brisbane coming off the win against the Power at their home deck at the Gabba, where they are undefeated. And the Blues, well, I don't know how they play at the Gabba. I don't recall them playing at the Gabba like too often, and I don't really think, you know, they're that exciting when they're at the Gabba. Obviously, lots of stakes on the line to face their arch rivalries in a grand final. Imagine a Collingwood-Carlton grand final. That would bring the country down. That would be like the best grand final we've probably ever seen. I don't think they can. I think the Lions will be a little bit too strong at their home deck, and I think it'll be a Collingwood v Brisbane grand final to finish off season 2023. We've seen 2 previews during the home and away season between these two sides, and Brisbane have got up in both of them, both at the Gabba and one at Marvel Stadium. And well, one could have been played at the G, but wasn't. So these two sides have not faced off at the G this year. In fact, I don't recall the last time they faced off at the G, because I think the last time they played in Melbourne anyway would have been the Zach Bailey at Marvel Stadium. So it's been a while since these two sides have actually met at the MCG. You could use the home crowd, obviously with the Pies, home crowd, but Brisbane can be pretty loud as well. Obviously it used to be Fitzroy as well, so the Melbourne crowd for Fitzroy back in the day, they'll be rolling into the granny and they'll definitely be backing in the Lions. But Collingwood, bro, at their home deck, they've been the best side all year, and I cannot go past the Pies. They've been the best side all year, hands down. And if they don't win the flag, then maybe Brisbane. Like, there's so many contenders this year, you genuinely don't know. And with what we've seen in the home and away season, the ladders just do not represent where any team stands. Anyone can beat anyone this season, and that's been proven by multiple results during the home and away season. And I feel like the Pies, they've been the best team all year. I feel like they've just got to get it done. They've got to go all the way. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel down below if you are new. Heaps of finals footy content coming out throughout the next, well, I would say like over a month, because like we've got a huge month of finals footy ahead of us. So I'm going to try and pump out the content, get heaps of news going on. And yeah, the content is going to be absolutely pumping. So make sure to subscribe. Turn on the bell as well, just to make sure you don't miss an upload during this huge content production time. And I'll see you all in the next video.